Hi there. The secret to thriving when everyone hates you. They all hate you now, don't they? Well, pay attention. I am Ijoma Oputa, the torchbearer of reflection. I help people go from pain and frustration to peace, revealing through mirror portals the limitless self within. Once reintroduced, life begins a transition from fear and lack to a joyful adventure towards emotional, material, and spiritual fulfillment. This transformation relieves multiple iterations of depression, trauma, and sorrow. It correctly tethers wealth to the divine purpose, the key to God's gift of abundance. It fosters satisfaction in your physical self, making body transformation fun. And it reorganizes your approach to relationships so that you may share this journey of excellence with someone special. So you feel it, don't you? That tiny shift in the room's energy when you walk in. The way conversations just seem to stop when you get close. It's that gut punch feeling that no matter what you do, you're on the outside and everyone hates you. Maybe it is something you said in public. Maybe you made headlines for all the wrong reasons. Guilty as charged. Or even worse, maybe your online comments have earned you the coveted title of public enemy number one. This feeling is a special kind of poison. It doesn't just sting, it seeps into your foundation and makes you question who you are. It crushes your confidence and sends you down a rabbit hole of self-doubt. And there you go, replaying every single interaction, just looking for that one moment where you went wrong. What could it be? But I'm going to tell you something no one else will. That feeling is not your enemy. It's not a final judgment on your worth. It is a signal. And the strategy I'm about to share with you won't just help you survive it. It will show you how to use that feeling to build an unshakable sense of self, starting today. First, let's take a look at what's really going on here. The confusion all begins from the initial downward spiral of needing to be liked by everybody. It starts with one painful thought. They don't like me. Ooh, boo-hoo. But it doesn't stop there, does it? That thought snowballs into, what's wrong with me? Then, believe it or not, I'm probably annoying. I must sound stupid. And then it culminates into, I just can't be loved. Nobody loves me. You start performing forensic analysis on every conversation you have. You pick apart your words, your tone, your body language, examining the wreckage like a crash investigator at the scene of your own private train wreck. Except in this disaster, you are the only victim. You replay every moment, searching obsessively for that fatal flaw, that one wrong phrase, that wrong turn, or whatever. You could call it self-correction all you want, but it really isn't. It's self-sabotage, dressed as diligence. This desperate hunt for approval to fix whatever mistake you made, this craving to be liked and loved by everybody, this need to be accepted and validated drives you into one of two traps. The first trap is what I call the shrinking chameleon. You make yourself smaller. You swallow your opinions. You find yourself aligning with others against yourself. You become a chameleon, essentially, trying to blend in, hoping that if you just become bland enough, inoffensive enough, everyone will forget your mistake. The problem is you trade your self-respect for a temporary sense of acceptance, and that never feels real because, breaking news, it isn't real, and it ain't right. The second trap is what I call the bitter phantom. Ooh. You build walls around your heart. You decide, fine, if they're going to hate me, I'm going to hate them right back. You now see malice everywhere. A different opinion is no longer a conversation. It's now a personal insult. This bitterness feels like a shield, but it's really a cage. It isolates you even more, confirming your worst fears about the world and cutting you off from any chance of real connection. You ghost the world to avoid the pain of not being good enough. Your opinion. And to your dismay, nobody cares. Nobody gives a damn about you. Both of these paths lead to the same place: total isolation and a broken sense of self. You're left alone, convinced your value is something other people hand out, and for some reason, they've decided you don't get any. Boo-hoo. Believe it or not, these very scenarios were the subject of secret conversations held over a century ago. Dialogues between my great-grandfather, the initial torchbearer of unified resplendence, and the leading minds of thought, influence, and leadership from Europe's most clandestine societies and elite councils. What brought them together was not conquest, not commerce, but a curiosity, a burning question that Western intellects could not answer at the time. How were African leaders across tribes and kingdoms able to maintain absolute loyalty and mitigate rebellion, even after committing the most unforgivable, heinous crimes? It baffled them. Crimes that should have ignited civil unrest were instead met with silence, even reverence. What kind of alchemy was this? The answer wasn't found in force. It wasn't found in fear. It was something far more elusive, a mastery of the human mirror, an understanding of how perception shapes power, how identity, fear, guilt, and even trauma can be transmuted, controlled, not by suppressing the people, but by bending the image they see of themselves and their leader. You are now leaders today, so it behooves you to learn this skill. These ancient psychological blueprints, lost in time and buried under colonial propaganda, hold the keys not only to leadership, but to liberation, the liberation of the self. You see, the real truth is you are an unlimited and unstoppable force of victory, celebrity, and defiance. This is your inherent nature. You are the image of God Himself. So whatever mistake you are guilty of, whatever discredit society imputes upon your brow, you are not subject to the stigma of rejection. Even universal castigation stands beneath you. The only opinion you really need to be concerned about is the opinion you hold of yourself. And even that opinion, no matter how grand or egregious, is an unacceptable overreach of authority, for even you do not have the right to pass judgment upon yourself. Because when it's all said and done, you really don't know who you really are. Neither do you have a clue about the true power you wield. It therefore goes without saying, any negative light that floods your presence cannot and should not touch you. And this is so if and only if you are aligned with the truth that I just revealed. But of course, you're not. And that's not your fault. It's simply the nature of this strange journey we call life. We are limitless beings of divine origin and infinite power, and temporarily blindfolded, wandering in a state of sacred forgetfulness. So how do you rise above this condemnation, this rejection, the shame? How do you break free from the false verdicts of others and even yourself? You must reconnect with your limitless nature. And the most direct, efficient, and astonishingly powerful way to do this is through the power of observation through mirror portals. I'm not glorifying mirrors. It's just a tool. Now pay very close attention. I'm about to demonstrate exactly how this transition is made, how a fractured identity is reassembled, and how divinity is remembered. How falsehoods dissolve in the light of pure perception, and how integrity and self-respect emerges even from universal condemnation. This assembly here before me is the very instrument for that shift, an example of which I shall be shipping to each and every one of you shortly. So prepare yourself. What you're about to witness is not just a reflection, it is a revelation. Our first task is to define the framework of your ideal reality, in which you are untouched, even oblivious to the judgment, condemnation, and rejection of others. Let me be clear, this is not a call for reckless disregard or an irresponsible affront to accountability. This is not ego. This is not defiance for its sake. Rather, this is a spiritual bulkhead, a protective boundary against the unwarranted adoption of a false self-identity formed through the distorted lenses of others' dissatisfaction in you, or, believe it or not, of your temporary disappointment in yourself. Many talented individuals have utterly destroyed themselves because they internalized what was never theirs to carry in the first place. External inference run amok, opinions mistaken for truth, shadows mistaken for the self. But this will not be your story, not now and not ever again. The following commands complement this framework and are in full alignment with the ancient order of unified resplendence's sacred guidance on matters of identity, restoration, and sovereign self-reclamation. And I shall record them right now for use in the second stage. I am fearless, unconditionally fearless. With respect to third-party opinion, my mind is silent. With respect to self-opinion, my mind is already silent. With respect to opinions formed on the behalf of third parties, my mind is silent. For the fact that I never, under any circumstance, take sides with any person, group, authority, or standard of conduct against myself, now or ever, I am already grateful. That's it. Those are the commands required to make the shift. But naturally, you should know that saying these affirmations will have little or no benefit in helping you counter the overwhelming sense of destruction that comes with criticism and widespread condemnation. Even saying them over and over in a mirror will do you little good. However, the magic, the alchemy unfolds when you observe the self in the assembly of the quantum box, which is which is more than just a collection of mirrors or reflections. It's a portal, a calibrated reflection of a higher dimensional version of you, untouched by shame, unsullied by past errors, undimmed by external judgment, and in that space, that portal, that sacred chamber of perception, you do not recite these insults, you do not recite these truths, you declare them. You do not hope they are real, you watch yourself become the one for whom they are already true. This, ladies and gentlemen, is how we do it. Basically, the quantum box simulates an alternative universe. Remember, all possibilities exist. Therefore, any reality that you create and observe exists somewhere in the vast grid of possibilities. You see. So by the power of observation and by declaring the framework that we recorded earlier, I am able to observe a scenario that matches a version of my superimposed latent ability. And by observation, I'm able to exchange that reality with the reality I am living in. And that is how you are able to put the subconscious in check and give it commands that you can use to improve the quality of your life. We are removing or basically extracting a state from quantum superposition, that limitless state that we exist in, where all of our abilities are stacked up, latent, waiting to be collapsed into the reality we experience. But don't worry about all the quantum mumbo jumbo. All you need to know is once you get the quantum box and handle the assembly as I will instruct and show you eventually, all you have to do is observe the reality that is presented to you by the calibrated positioning of the mirrors and dictate the framework you wish to have in your reality, just like this. I am fearless, unconditionally fearless. I am fearless, unconditionally fearless. With respect to third-party opinion. With respect to third-party opinion. My mind is silent. My mind is silent. With respect to self-opinion. With respect to self-opinion. My mind is already silent. My mind is already silent. With respect to opinions formed on the behalf of third parties. With respect to opinions formed on behalf of third parties. My mind is silent. My mind is silent. For the fact that I never, under any circumstance, take sides with any person, authority, or standard of conduct against myself. Now or ever, I am already grateful. That's all it takes. Ooh. It does the craziest thing to you when that exchange happens. Remember, you're not just looking in a mirror. This is a calibrated simulation of an alternative reality, a portal, if you will, to another reality which you exchange for the reality you're in, so that you can now experience latent versions of yourself moving forward. Got it? Excellent. There. That's it. No endless therapy sessions. No feel-good pep talks. No begging for validation. Just direct commands issued directly to your subconscious, granting you access to the version of yourself you just witnessed through the portal. It doesn't require effort. It requires alignment. And if the transformation isn't immediate, don't worry. It usually appears within 7 days, tops. And when it does, you will find, to your surprise and delight, that even if the entire world comes crashing down on you in condemnation, as it once did to me, Google my name. It's not a pretty sight. You will, however, remain unshaken. You will stand tall, not just for yourself, but for your destiny, for the version of you that never stopped existing, and for the people you love. and that matter to you. And now all that matters is that you remember. I would be honored to guide you and navigate you through this divine revelation, to help you unlock the truth within the infinite dimensions of God's creation, so you may observe your truth, align with it, and rise above the devastation of this world and the misconceptions society demands you bow to. If this message resonates with your spirit, be sure to book a call using the link down below. There we'll explore not just this revelation, but the multitude of misconceptions that continue to obscure your greatest expression of your true self. And if your life has been overturned by public shame or unceremonious condemnation, I would love to hear from you. Share your story in the comments below. You are not alone. Also, be on the lookout for links to our upcoming webinars, where we demonstrate step by step not only how to receive or assemble your own quantum box, but how to conquer a wide range of blockages, complexes of every kind, phobias and self-imposed ceilings, traumas of seismic proportions. This is more than healing. This is activation. Thank you for listening, and I hope you're as excited as I am to explore the new universe just beyond the threshold of your own reflection. Peace and blessings.